Everyone, and welcome back to another session of live tutorials step-by-step drawing on your phone. So those of you who are new here will know that typically you can make good drawings on the phone using the Paintology drawing app. It's currently only available for Android users, so any Android phone or tablet you'll be able to download from the Google Play Store. So this was just a test. What you see here, just a test drawing that I did with the one brush drawing that I've been doing recently. So you probably save that. So we're going to be drawing something different. I usually pick a theme, a subject. This is the app, the home screen. So I usually pick a subject which is on the same line as for both channels, which is Paintology and then of course the produced channel, and you'll see the links in the live stream videos as well. So for those of you here watching, and there's quite a few that's growing now, you're probably interested in learning the methods and techniques, the arts techniques that I'm showing you, and that's what separates Paintology from others. Those who come here, look at it, looking for tools, are quick to dismiss it because it's not wired in the same way as the other apps, and and there is no intention of doing that because the other apps are immersed with digital tools, and people become dependent on those digital tools, and they don't develop the core art skills that are necessary to make some of the drawings that you've seen done on the Paintology app. For example, I'll give you some examples from drawing. This was one of my favorites, which I did freehand as well. We notice this was in the live stream yesterday, actually. So I did about half of it, managed to get halfway through it, but there were some issues with the actual the app itself. But that was due to the fact that I'm working with a prototype app with the trying to sort out some bugs and issues. You won't or should not have any problems with the live app available from the Google Play Store. So you can see with this one, there's such detail that's coming, and I use simply the line brush here, not the chalk, the line brush here. And then I use this density as this is the all-encompassing, powerful thing that allows you to draw in this detail, this level of detail. And apart from the fact that you can do this, right? Zoom in as much as you want. Look, yeah, rotate, zoom, and then click on the zoom button again, and you're back to where you start. That is what allows the phone to be such a powerful drawing device. Do not ignore it for any second without even testing out. That's the reason why I can make such detailed drawings. How do you think I can make detailed drawings like this? Because of the power of these digital tools. In addition to that, you have the pen. This is the pen, so I don't work with layers or anything like that. Just like traditional artists, think of Paintology as an extension, as a bridge between traditional artists to the digital medium. Don't think of it as like another digital app, just like Photoshop and our, IBIS or Sketch Note from Photoshop as well, and all these other ones. They're just full of tools. They don't try and teach you or attempt to teach you the techniques of art, which is what matters at the end of the day. And then the reason why this Paintology has transitioned in this approach is primarily because I am the driver of the app and I have a technology background. And I brought this online again. It's been around for a while. I first introduced it back in 2012 when tablets and the bigger phones were coming into the picture. And now that we have bigger phones and tablets and high resolution, it just makes sense to bring back Paintology to the picture. And I started about 3, 4 years ago, and then I've been doing that, and I've gone through so many iterations of the app, and then of course applying my art skills. And I don't come from an art background; it's all technical technology. But I couple these two things together to bring you this unique piece of art. I mean, this unique piece of software, which is unique. So please be wary of that when you come here looking for tools, digging for tools to help you do things. You're not. That's not what this app is about. It's designed to teach you fundamental skills of art. And that's the reason why you can make drawings like that. If you use tools, it will look digitally animated. It won't look like fine art such as here. There's another one I did, which was also happens to be in free form. This one, black and white. Again, you can see just with one brush, didn't go to anywhere beyond the one brush. And the reason why you have the color palette right on that canvas is because I'll tell you why. It's always there's always a specific reason why the menus are placed as they are and the color palette is placed as they. Think about it, right? How many strokes did I use? Actually, I should put a count here to make this drawing. Yeah, maybe what, like 5,000 strokes, drawing strokes. Imagine if I had to continuously press two buttons to get to the tone, the shading of the shade, just the tones. Imagine I had to do that, or change the brush size. I had to go through 2 clicks to get to the color. It just it means that a third of your drawing strokes is gone to accessing the tool. And you know me, I'm rapid, and you can see me that I made this drawing in one sitting of 1 hour. This particular drawing. The other one I had to, total time I think for that one. This is 1 hour 40 minutes, and there's a good reason why you can draw this fast. Although you have to reach some proficiency, like myself, in using the app, but it's very rapid if you follow some of the methods I'm going to show you. And in addition to that, I'm going to actually show you some important resources that you should pay attention to. Oh, it's gone. All my tabs have gone, unfortunately. I don't think it's gone. Let's have a look. No, it's there still. So here, I'll show you the paint. That's the Google Classroom link. It's just about halfway down the description. This is excellent if you want to learn the fundamentals, the core skills in art, and uses the app as the platform to learn. So the beauty of digital is that it's not like guesswork like traditional, because the traditional is a little hard, very hard to replicate or even talk about, convey the fundamentals. And the reason for that is because fundamentals are not accurately specified like the digital can be. And I'll explain more about that, because in the traditional you have color mixing, which you have no idea what quantity of paints are used to mix with another color to get the color you want, right? You just have to. It's a hit or miss. And with digital, you can actually follow along to me more accurately than traditional. And you'll learn more about that as I do that. So I encourage you to join this classroom. It's the Paintology classroom, and it's structured and you can skip. It shows you some of the core skills you learn by doing some of the fun tutorials. And these tutorials are found here. This I'll show you here. Paint by numbers, pencil drawing, absolute beginner, start there to learn the strokes. Pencil, you learn shading, trace drawing, block coloring, and so many other excuse me, so many other things, including tones and values, which are fundamental to drawing. Excuse me just for 1 second. So tones and values are really the key thing I focus on, and I do that for a lot of reasons, because it's what defines your ability in drawing. And then the pinnacle of your appreciation and your mastery of tones and values is that you can create photorealistic drawings, right? And if you can reach that level, like I'm going to show you, this is not one of mine actually, in case you're wondering. All right, so let me go here. These are some of the photorealistic drawings I have done. You can see the horse here. I did these quite a number of years ago, a few of them here. Another photorealistic drawing on the phone. Here you see. And this one as well. You can see a hibiscus flower. And this was one of my earliest realistic drawing of an eagle. And all of them are done freehand as well. But in order to get to this level, you really need to practice learn the fundamentals I'm going to teach you through block coloring and through the trace. Trace is an exceptionally powerful. Oh yeah, this one I want to show you. This was the Haywain. You probably recognize this, the famous John F. Constable. It was done through the block coloring. And look how close details I got to. And then I found out some of the artistic rendering, how you begin to learn some of the grandmasters, how they manipulated their art strokes. Beautiful painting that he's done, and I tried to replicate it here. This was one of my first block coloring challenge that I did, and I was quite proud of it. And there's so many examples here you can find. So pencil drawing, this was done with one shade brush. So again, very easy, nothing difficult. And then of course, you can check out the live streams that I've been doing on a daily basis. And so there's plenty of examples there. And of course, the YouTube channels, all the videos and shorts that you can see there, right? So I think that's all I want to show. The other thing I want to show you is this particular link here, where I'll go to paintology.com. Let's go to Paintology. Paintology.com. Yeah, go there. And then you'll see a link. Now I've moved the link actually up here. So now it's easier to see daily step-by-step video tutorials on the homepage. Click on that and you'll see the list of live streams that I have. So I usually put ahead of time the live stream that's going to be coming up, so you can get prepared for it with your phone and with the reference image. This one is the one I'm going to do. This one I decided to challenge myself. It's a beautiful scene, right? Can't ignore that. And then there's the reference image for the second channel, which follows straight after. So I'm hoping you can join both of my live sessions. So this one's coming up 1.5 hours, 1.5 hours after this, so 14:30. Okay. So let's go back to the so please try out the tutorials. There are plenty of them. It's all free. The thing is that even the Classroom, Google Classroom is free, and you're probably wondering why I'm offering such astonishing services for, free of charge. Well, that's really advantageous to you at this point in time, isn't it? The reason I want to do that is because I want to show people that there is a method of drawing digitally. It doesn't have to be technical. It does not have to involve technical knowledge. Even Chat GPT, when I inquire as to how do you become very good digital artist, right away says you need to be a master of technical tool. Of course you do. If you want to learn Photoshop, it's a beast of a application, trust me. So it's a learning curve for that is huge. But if you want to go by that route, you'll probably have your mindset on becoming a 3D animator, launching a career. But if you're a traditional artist, have the enjoyment of drawing and painting like a traditional artists do, and one in which majority I think fall into that group, they would want to learn this way. This would be the way I would do it. And I am a very advanced user of Photoshop, but if you ask me to draw something, I'd say anything, like copy this picture or go to take your tablet to the up to the hills and then do a picture and, in what do they call it? Uh, open, plein air, right? When you want to paint outside, I would do that. I would do that with my Paintology and use this. I would never use Photoshop for my drawing, which I sit down and peacefully switch off for an hour or so. And so there are two ways. So if you want to go up the path, it's worth actually checking out what digital is, and then with Paintology, it doesn't require any amount of extra resources. You can simply have an Android phone and download the app, and away you go. So I'm using a stylus, but you can obviously use your finger as well. So let's go ahead and open up the first drawing that I'm going to do. This is the one. This was for the Paintology. It's actually a lot. I mean, I've been challenging myself more and more, and I've brought in complex drawings here, as you can see here. Yeah. So actually, I've just got an idea, and I'm not gonna lose it because this is the way I develop the app. I come up with an idea, and then I think I will be okay. I will keep it in my head. But please allow me to just go to the keep notes and type something in here. I should know what I'm talking about when I say density settings fixed. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to do a block coloring, and block coloring is an excellent way for you to start appreciating tones. So you've got the line brush. I would suggest leaving it 100% initially. Don't worry about this. This is what makes the whole thing exceptionally powerful. Take it up to 20%, and then I always have a rule of thumb, and then use the color picker to just color the scene like this, okay? So you're gonna use the color picker and color the scene. It's a big brush, and then why do I always pick the color picker? Because believe me, the tones change. You may think that the blue tone's not changing, it looks the same to you, but it changes. Look at the tone. There are variations of the blue here, which is not obvious. That's what you're trying to become good at, to understand these variations of tones, okay? So this is quite a big brush, so I'm going to reduce it again maybe about 14%, so I can do the tone changes that's happening in the clouds here. Look what I'm doing. Yeah, just enough size for me to pick out these fluffy clouds. And then look what I'm doing here. It's important that you pay attention. What I'm doing is color picker and then picking that color picker, picking that. Why am I doing that? I've found that very few people want to learn or not learn. Very few people are actually not talking about this, and I'm wondering why that is. And I'm thinking that it's the impatience of majority of people who simply want the quickest fix. They've got a drawing, so when they come here, majority come to the app, and what do? Straight away they dive into the drawer and then start doodling. Yeah, they've got really no aim of what they want to do and what they want to learn. It's not, and Paintology is all about that, to have fun, of course, but at the same time learn how far you can you can do with this app, and there's so much you can do. So this is all I'm doing. I'm just laying down the colors here. And I'm going to show you this drawing where you don't need really any drawing skills as such, yeah? Look at that low horizon. When you get close to trust me, when you get close to an image that you want to draw, you find so many textures, variations of colors, tone. Look at these dark tones here. Can you see it? So pick them up with the color picker, right? I'm using a broad brush. You've probably seen this method, what artists use, and I'm pretty sure you want to learn what the artists, how they manage to do their paintings. And this is very similar to traditional fine art. What what I'm doing here is laying down the basic colors, very easy. I don't have anything. I don't have to use my ability of getting the perspective. I'm doing this by hand, almost like I can switch off and just do this float here and then just do the tones that I see here. There are lots of tones going on here, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm just capturing the primary colors. That's all I'm doing, and that's all you're doing as well. And you're using this method. It's called the block coloring. So again, these rosebuds. And then when you get to it, we will start adding detail, okay? It's a beautiful shadow there. And then this lovely grassy green. And if you think the tones are the same, then you don't have to go to the color picker, right? Just, and notice, I can see right away there's a light greenish tone here. And that was obvious, right? So all I'm doing, I'm not confused or even thinking about the details of the whole image. I'm just laying down the bulk colors. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. And then you've probably seen that they continue to work on their canvas, when you see the good artists, and somehow they go through a whole process of drawing, and you just like, you lose sight of what they're actually doing with all the paints or the pencils or whatever. But but it does make it addictive watching, which most people do. But the thing is that it's nice to watch. I'm not going to be the person who always watches. I'm actually a very much of a doer. And I don't know about you, if you're a doer, you probably want to learn. So a lot of people, beginners who actually start doing drawing, have some perception of how the drawing should be done, and then and they think they know a lot, but in reality they know very little. You have to be really open-minded if you want to learn to, if you want to really learn to draw. You have to be like a sponge, I call it. You know, becoming a sponge means that you're, don't forget to save it. Sometimes, for some reason or another, it can, so when you save it, you'll be able to retrieve anything when it's once saved from my painting section. So let's do these rose colors. Is this getting a bit too big now that we got to the smaller details in the house? But that's fine. We're just laying down the colors. Not too worried. Just seeing what these primary colors are and what they do. So it's always a good idea that when you're learning something new, I mean, I don't think you're likely to have seen this method of digital drawing, and then if you come with some preconceived ideas of what digital drawing is about, just because majority do the same thing, you're likely to not learn much. You gotta keep your mind open to possibilities. Nobody, very few people actually can look at my artwork and say for sure it was done digitally, because I posted in many art sites, some, not many, but some, and they still don't know that it's actually done digitally. They confuse it with something done by traditional or some media they're not familiar with, medium, which is flattering but at the same time frustrating because they don't get it. So hopefully you're now getting it, right? You're seeing that, aha, that's, he's actually doing what he's saying he's doing. Okay, so what do we got here? That's pretty good, isn't it? That's like a little blocky house. Let's take that and like take it down a little bit more so we can finish it really quickly. I don't mean the painting, of course. And then I'm still thinking as I'm talking to you how I'm going to tackle this. I don't have a really any idea. I don't have a specific thing in mind, but I'm just laying down the colors, seeing what the first pass of the drawing is going to lead me to, and hopefully give me some ideas on how to tackle this. And of course, I have to keep in mind that you're new to this channel and you're learning. So far, I don't think you have learned. I don't think you've done anything super complicated. I mean, the fact that you can see these shadows and you're using a big broad brush to make this artwork, right? So all you're doing, tracing the reference image here. Let's go here. I think we're done with this. Let's have a look. Wow, it looks like there is a house that's coming online, even with this broad block coloring, right? Let's do the side of the house. Now you can see that you don't really need drawing experience as such. You just need to understand how to operate the phone and the brush, and you get lost in the moment, right? Look at that here. And let's do this yellow here. Let's see what it looks like. That's not bad, is it? So people would be able to tell it's a cottage. So this, we spent, what, 10 minutes doing this? Let's save this. So note I'm going to keep saving and opening it up. And because I'm working with the prototype app, you won't have to do this. And the reason is because we're testing for some memory problems and things like that. So let's see if this is not going to... Oh, great. It's not giving the blank, so I can carry on. Right, so let's look at our drawing. So this is the way typically the artist. So this is not requiring any drawing skills. If I were to go and I have several methods which you might have seen, I would switch from this back and forth from the real drawing that, and then I would use that as a reference and then apply the colors to my canvas. This is my canvas. This is the drawing. So are we going to do that? No, I think I'm feeling a little lazy today, lethargic, so I'm going to continue the same way we've done that. So let me show you what 3% can do, and you'll be shocked. Let's bring it down to 3%. And now take a good look. Remember the drawing of this cottage. And now we're going to work on the details, right? So this is really, what that really does, it improves your appreciation. Look how small the brush is. Yeah? Right. See how small the brush is? Alright, so I'm going to, and look at these little tiny tones. This one's green. So this all builds up to the picture. Okay? And then we're going to just do that really quickly using, look how the colors change. It's not nowhere near the colors that we picked. And if you know how we did the whole drawing, you will know the reason why that is. And we haven't changed anything. It's still 100%, right? Then you will know. You just need to think a little. Why is it that I'm able to get more tones as I get closer? It's because you're picking out tones at such a low value, at a higher resolution. It only makes sense that you're going to get more tonal values. Like, for example, this hidden thing, right? So we're doing here. And this drop shadow here, right? And then this. See that? We picked out not just tones, but actual colors, right? These beautiful colors. And then we won't do the window. We'll actually probably, because the windows are so detailed, we probably go. So again, I'm following Color Picker. It's a wonderful way to draw, and I would encourage you to do that there. And then we can refine the edges. How's this training helping you? Oh, believe me, it's helping you to get comfortable with drawing so you don't have any illusion of what drawing is all about. And then you're also refining your drawing strokes. Okay, keep that in mind. All right. Then you'll see the vast improvements that the smaller brush. This is the way our eyes work, actually. Am I doing anything different? No, nothing at all. I'm just refining this house to be the colors, and I'm picking out the colors based on what the reference image is, and I'm training my mind to do similar, transferring that to my own drawing. That's all I'm doing. Look at that beautiful shapes and do that dark contrast here. And then this lovely door panel here. There. And that green. And let's get these red lovely rose buds here. So remnants of it. Just follow this. See the details? Now you're really seeing details at such a high resolution. That can only mean that your drawing will have those details as well, lovely details. That makes for an impressive drawing, right? And then why you want to do that? Because believe me, you keep doing drawing like this, you'd suddenly one day you're going to say, you know what? I think I'll do a freehand drawing of this. Let me do that of my child, or my parents, and then you can. There's nothing to stop you, right? Look at these lovely bushes there. And notice this black, the footing. You get a real good understanding of nature and the colors that it embodies, right? It's like that's what the reason why I was watching Bob Ross is that he loved painting was because he was so much loved nature. You have to love nature in order to really paint well, I think. And I'm very fond of nature. And my favorite subject is landscape, but I do all kinds of subjects, such as this, just to show you as a test. So I hope you're painting along with me. Look, these dark bushes. And then you can see with just a little bit of effort. What's this? Another thing this is doing is that it's helping you to understand how your drawing strokes and how you apply your drawing strokes will make up the whole drawing and where you need to improve. And I haven't even gone to the area that I want to touch on, which is the tones and also the other two of the density. But we'll get there. But let's just do this because this is so much fun just doing this, isn't it? Not really having to think hard. So look at this. Just go here. I'm practically done the left side of the house, I believe. Let me see. Okay, let's see what we got on the left side. See how we got in the bush out on the left side. It's amazing, isn't it? So I'm going to do again what I do. I'm sorry about this. I have to save and then go save again and open it up. Okay, so I'm gonna do the chimney stack now. So the chimney stacks needs refining. Let's do this quick. And then you can, of course, I like to work with speed and number you. Let's just get that chimney stack out. Make sure you get the right yellow, because where your stylus lands, it picks up that color. Such a fun way to, instead of going on social media, it's one of the things I encourage people to draw is that you go into social media and you get immersed in what's happening, and and you're not really learning as much as you could, right? Really, this helps you to also increase your speed. Speed of drawing, which is important. The areas we left behind, remember? Then we got that green. Just add the details while you're still here at the close-up. You can see where the areas you've left missed out. So this is just an excellent way to build up your drawing skills. Don't make the mistake that you have to draw like everyone else. It's just not possible. You gotta learn some of the techniques first. Look at these lines. So if I were to pick a color picker again, I'm picking a different tone. Yes, I'm shaping it based on that. And let's clear this. Got that green there. So then we might try a different technique for the other one I have lined up, which is similarly the same cottage, but it's actually a different angle of this cottage, right? So let's have a look what we've got. Look at that, it's already shaping up to be a cottage, right? Once we've got through the windows and everything, you'll know that we are close to something that looks pleasing to the eye rather than being too sketchy. And we've only got 2.8% brush. Normally I work with, trust me, I work with 1%. Sometimes I spend hours using 1% brush. That's the only reason you can, that's entirely the reason why you can work with such detail. So you can pull back the colors like that. This is the pipe here. So I must have picked a darker color. Color picker, away you go. Color picker, away you go. Color picker. Alright, that's all there is. So you're not really caring, you're not really looking at your drawing. You're basically essentially doing the drawing from the reference image. Just getting a good, comfortable feel. That's all you're doing. Let's see what we've got. See how it's shaping up? I mean, you didn't think that was possible, is it? Look at that, the way, step by step, This is the drawing process that I keep telling people, and it's not really talked about as such. And the reason why it's not talked about as such is because the drawing process is a stepwise direction from completing anything, any piece of artwork, from nothing to something fantastic, right? That is the drawing process. It's the all the steps involved. And the reason why people cannot convey that in traditional art is because the drawing process is really unique to the artists. They have their own style of drawing, unique techniques and methods. But when it comes to digital, have you seen me use anything more than just change the brush size and doing color picking? This is going to introduce you to the whole notion of the drawing process that takes you from zero all the way to finish. And then what that does, it actually spurs you on to continue to draw and go to the finishing line. You're not, majority, sadly, will throw their arms up in the air and say, I can't do any more than that. And they're going to say, why? It's not no fault of the skill set. And then if they continue to diminish their skills by saying you have to be born with the talent, they're only fooling themselves, right? And you don't want to be in that category, right? You really want to keep going and then, of course, enjoy the whole drawing process, yeah? So let's just put these down, and then I'm going to probably, this works all right. So when artists draws like this, they're keeping an eye and something in their head that refers to the original image that's held in their hand, and this could be the reference image, right? Which is what we're working with. Or it could be some other thing they have in their minds. Yeah. So let's just go ahead, just get this. Look at that, adding these tiny little details, which comes with the colors. And then we don't have to worry about color mixing, right? And then there are going to be all these naysayers about digital and using trace and all that nonsense, and they've never really ventured or done enough sufficient art to qualify what they're really saying. So it's quite funny, some of them come to the app and say it hasn't got this tool, hasn't got this, it's made for little children, kids. And I said, okay, let me do a drawing. So I do a drawing, 40 minutes on the phone, freehand. And I say to the guy, please try and do the same with any other digital app in under 40 minutes. And then tell me if this is for children. And you can guess I never heard from that person. Some people, they don't know what they're talking about, but they claim to know what they're talking about. It's sad. You don't feel that you're the only one who's in that category. Some esteemed people, even in the museums, like art curators, have a phobia about digital art. And some of them, I once had a conversation, I don't know, it was, she goes that digital art is soulless. And I go, what, really? Can you tell me if it's soulless if I draw like this? And showed them one of my freehand drawing with digital art. And she still claims it's soulless, but she deleted my response. So you can tell I've probably changed her thinking. But she was a little, she didn't want to feel that she didn't know her subject. You know, they don't. The problem is the most of the art are moved by art critics who are not very experienced in themselves. You see how that's turning out? Nicely done, isn't it? I wonder how what stage you're at. Let me save this because I'm not going to spend any more time because I feel that I've shown you a direction where you can go. And then let's open that. And then I'm just going to finish the house and then show you a little bit of the clouds and the plantation of how to go about doing that. You see, no drawing experience required. And then you can probably, let me do this, the main area of the house. I'm going to take this 1 to by 1%, 1.9, and then just do these little tiny details that make up the beautiful textures. And textures are not done through brushes. If you're looking for brushes to do your textures, you haven't learned skills at all. I can create any texture, wave or anything just with my brush. I showed you that drawing of the stream I did, right? That was, most of it was freehand. You should check it out. And I made the water entirely with one brush, just using the density settings. I'm not even showing you the density settings because I'd like to keep it simple for now. Just use scribbly marks when you come to the flowers because you're just trying to create those shapes, nothing more, nothing different. And then you'll see that a little bit of effort goes a long way. Look at this beautiful golden. And then there's this green here. That's just trying to replicate these colors, you know, and then you can check your drawing and see if that's working and keep it. Okay. Let's see what we've got. I've got a beautiful path. I like the cottage thatched roof, isn't it? And look at that. This one is just a tad, requires a tad more detail. And I'm going to introduce you to this quick method, looking at your drawing and then trying to replicate the colors. So you can see those slates, the beautiful slates, just getting some, and then some dark slates here. And then some light slates, right? You know the slates I'm talking about. Right, that's all. That's all that's needed. And this is a pipe. I can do this pipe. And then what we have here, this color. Takes and then this color here. Oops. So you can use that color and straighten that door. So it looks a bit, and then put that color, just do these tweaks. And then we're going to do that window. Let's do that window. because I haven't got much time here because I've got to jump on the other class. Let's go back to where we were. Let's fix this window. Lovely windowsill. We've got 1.91% brush size. Very good. Okay, let's see what we've done. That is beginning to look good, isn't it? Yeah, you can see. Now I'm going to do the some of this thing, right? Look at this here. How to do this little bit. Look at that. We've got nothing there. It's very easy. You might think, God, how's he going to tackle that? Watch how easy it is. Really simply just using your brush tip and just scribbling it. I'm not even worried about the exact details of this, just the perimeter that's going on here. That's all I'm doing. And then you find that perimeter suddenly creates that edge. Look, see? And then all you do is get some of these colors. Again, I'm sticking to, right? Because we can fix that and then get these colors and then give it a 3D. Look, it's going to pick up these darker green here. Just go through and then just pretend you're laying down these colors randomly, because that's what nature is. It's a very random process. It's very natural. That's why digital art, if you try and replicate every branch with autocorrection or the tools or some fancy tools, just not going to work. It's not going to cut it. That's where the beauty of, look, you can see that this dark strokes. When you get an idea of what's going on, you can be able to create these shapes. Look here as well. It's too dark here, so I'm just going to put some dark here. Get some of the adjacent colors. Take some of all the darkness away. That's all I'm doing. Color picker, right? Then these colors will retreat. Look, see how the randomness is created? Let's go all the way up to the house. You see how it's too straight here? This random effect of the blind brush does that. And then I've had to follow, in order to do the water that's rushing through the stream, I had to use density settings, which obviously may be a bit too complicated for you right now, but just do this. It's so much fun, eh? You're actually creating a nice, lovely, look at this line here. Remember, these are perimeters. These are what creates the line of the hedges. And then it's got a wall. Look at that beautiful wall. And then it's got these green hedges. And then look at that green dark. That's the edge. Pay attention to these details. And these details will come to you naturally as you keep drawing this way. So let's see what we've got. See, already we're creating some tree line. Now let me show you the clouds, because I don't want to overstep our timeline. Now I'm going to probably, let's save this, because we can finish this drawing later. Look how we're going to do this cloud. Now let's zoom in, right, to this cloud over here. This group of clouds. Right? Let's see how we're going to do this. Right, you can continue using the But I think I would probably introduce you to the density setting here. Let's put this at 40%, right? And take the brush size to about 3%. Look what happens when look, I'm going to switch back and forth with, and you'll understand how this brush operates. And then I'm going to pick these colors. And then you'll see then how I'm creating it's sort of the cloudy, fluffy effect. Pick this color, look. See that I've almost created a cloud-like effect here. Then here. That's a cloud effect. That's what the density setting is. It allows you control over the opacity. Think of the opacity of the colors. Because as it gets to the perimeter, the blue creeps in, right? And then it's more white and fluffy in the middle, like here, right? That's all it is. And let's carry on doing this setting. And if it works, why not? Just keep doing it, right? Keep the color picker. It is working, isn't it? Things doing quite nicely. To fix that, that's looking at. Okay. And then we have these colors. That was not the color. Yes, the colors of that, isn't it? Now we can see what that looks like, right? But if it works, then we can keep changing it up a bit. Let's see what that looks like from a distance. I think that cloud is going to come out really nicely, isn't it? So let me go around this tree line with the hedge, the tree line and the clouds. Let me just do more of that. Right, and let's go switch between. Right, so I've got the. Don't worry about if you've encroached on the area. Don't think too accurately. Think about getting the effect, not the accuracy of it. And look at that beautiful white. This is so white. It's lovely, isn't it? And then I'm using a swirly stroke, just trying to create the effect. And nothing. Right, and look at this here. Got this. We can increase that, take that down, and then, oops. God. Right there. And we can take it down if the density is a bit too much. Right there. To make it just look like as though there's some. I'm not using any effects, but just create and then increase the density to get the right tone. That's all you're doing, the right tone values. That's really all it takes. Right, then decrease the density if it's too harsh. It just gives a sort of slightly warm look to it. You know, you get that with experience. You find that with experience, yeah? I wouldn't worry about it if you don't get it right away. But anyway, look, it's sort of creating a tree-like effect, isn't it? Around here, right? Tree-like effect, and then we have the clouds there as well. So you can see, already visualize how this is going to come out as sort of a nice picturesque, not photorealistic, but a pleasant picturesque scene that is very pleasant to look at, isn't it? And hopefully, this this drawing session has shown you how easy one can make a drawing, and this is this is what should spur you on to continue drawing and then to do it on the phone as well. You don't have to invest in all these fancy tools and brushes and applications and all that. Start off like this, learn drawing and improve your skills, and then away you go. I think I will stop here, but please subscribe so I can keep bringing you these nice live tutorials so I can, keeps me invested in this whole journey and effort. And also, please post, do post as well of your drawings. I don't think there was anything really complicated about that. I don't think I introduced anything that was like, for example, was like required hidden skills or talent. You clearly saw that I started off with a large brush size, putting down the blocks using the color picker, allowing me to trace over it. Then I kept reducing the brush, and then when I focused on my attention on the cottage and just introduced the colors, and you see, now that since I did these trees around here, I'm going to do the same around the bushes and around there, which creates the effect. Look, already the thatched effect of that cottage is the thatched roof of that cottage is coming into life now. In fact, today I was driving and I passed a thatched cottage and was thinking about the drawing that I was going to do for the live session. And then on the left side, no worries, we're going to go through the smaller brush here, work out the bushes and get all of that right. And then it's going to look like a nice postcard, isn't it? A lovely postcard that you can send with your written message on the phone and then send it off. You can send it off. Here, save, share, from the save button, you can send it. And then they will be so happy to receive it. So then the other part is, of course, there's a little blending involved on that blue sky, but I will probably show it, recap on this drawing and show you this, all right? So hopefully you had enjoyed this session, and then I will finish this drawing in my own time, probably let you know how long it took me, because I won't be talking, obviously, and unless my daughter keeps distracting me, and then I will post it online, okay, as a completed drawing. So thank you, and don't forget, there's in about 25 minutes in the Produce channel, I'll be doing the same with a different angle. Maybe I'll have a different approach to that. Who knows, right? So I'll see you then, or I'll see you in the next one, or I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.